Hello, baseball fans. This is Anthony with BBSN, and we are back for start number 15 in the Fergie Jenkins 1969 payoff pitch replay. And tonight, the Reds come to the friendly confines to face Fergie and the Cubs, led by Pete Rose, who will lead off and be in center tonight. Bobby Tolan bats second and right. Alex Johnson will bat third, be in left field. Hitting cleanup, third baseman Tony Perez. First baseman Lee May will bat fifth. Johnny Bench will be behind the plate and hit sixth, followed by Tommy Helms at second, Darrell Cheney at short, and George Culver will be on the mound for the Reds. For the Cubbies, pretty much their standard lineup with one exception. It'll be Kessinger, Beckert, Williams, Ron Santo hitting cleanup, Ernie Banks at first hitting fifth, Hundley behind the dish. Jim Hickman gets a start in right field again in place of Al Spangler. Don Young will be in center, and of course Fergie on the mound. And on this game played on June 9th, 1969, the Cubs came up short against the Reds, losing 4-1. And current numbers in the replay: in real life, coming into this game, Fergie was 8-2 with a 2.56 ERA. 112.1 innings pitched, 85 hits, 23 walks, 83 Ks, and 11 home runs. And in the replay, he is 11-3, a 2.11 ERA, 115 innings pitched, 80 hits, 17 walks, and 96 strikeouts, and only 7 home runs given up. And in real life, in Fergie starts, the Cubbies were 10-4, and of course in the replay, 11-3, as he has gotten a decision in all of his starts. So we are ready to go. First pitch is on its way, and play ball. Jenkins to Rose, and it's going to be a tough result, and 68, and Pete's going to ground that down to second base. Beckert takes care of that, one away. Next up, the left-hander Bobby Tolan, and Tolan has a tough result, and Fergie comes in, a slider on the inside corner, swing and a miss, strike three, and Tolan goes down. So Fergie off to yet another solid start against the Reds, as Alex Johnson up, 2 outs, nobody on, and it again will be a tough result, and Johnson flies out to center field. So no hits, no runs, no errors, 3 up, 3 down for the Reds, and we head to the bottom of the first inning, no score. Don Kessinger leading it off for the Cubbies against George Culver, and that's going to be a patient result. And it's going to be a fly ball to right field for Kessinger, one away, as Bobby Tolan does the honors and retires him. Next up, second baseman Glenn Beckert. And that'll be tough. And Beckert, he's going to fly out to center field as well, 2 down. I should say fly out as well to center field this time, as Rose takes care of that. One thing with this Reds lineup in the outfield, Rose in center is kind of an odd choice. He has F range, so he's not going to get to a lot of stuff out there, while both Tolan and Johnson in right have A ranges. We'll see if that is a factor or not. And 40 on the patient chart to Billy Williams, and Williams, he's going to single right back up the middle. So sweet swinging Billy Williams has the first hit of the afternoon. And 2 down, runner on first base to Ron Santo, and Santo gets an in-play result, and that is going to be a ground ball down to third base. And up with that is Tony Perez, whips it over to Lee May, and the side is retired. So a hit, no runs, no errors, and 1 runner left on base, and we head to the top of the second inning, and no score. Tony Perez leads off against Fergie, and that's wheelhouse, and Perez a big cut, and that is long gone. And out in left field, Williams did not even turn around. He just heard the sound and dropped his head, and Perez, he launched that out of the stadium. A circuit shot and a blast, and Fergie, who had gone, I believe, 5 games and not given up a home run, has had a little bit of difficulty with the long ball in his last outing and starting on the wrong foot today. So the Reds take the lead 1-0, and Lee May comes up, and tough result, and Fergie comes back with some high heat that May cannot catch up with. 1 down. Johnny bench up, and bench. He can go deep as well. Fergie looking to keep the ball down, and 8. That'll be tough. And Johnny grounds it down to Beckert at second base. 2 down. Tommy Helm is a batter now. And another tough result, and that's going to be a long fly ball, but on the warning track, Williams hauls that in. So the Reds break the ice. A run on Tony Perez's leadoff home run. We head to the bottom of the second, 1-0 Reds. And Mr. Cubby Ernie Banks lead it off. 6 is going to be Patient, and Banks, harmless fly ball to right field, 1 down. Next up, catcher Randy Hundley, and Hundley has been an offensive force for the Cubbies, and that's going to be in play, and he continues with a single. And that's between short and third, and Hundley rounds the bag, goes back to first base. Cubbies are in business. And Jim Hickman getting the start in right field tonight in place of Spangler, and that is going to be an in-play result as well, and that's going to be a double. So Hickman drives that into the gap in left center, and coming around third is Hundley. Is he going to go for it and double? And he is going to come in easily, well ahead of the throw, and the Cubbies have tied it up on an opposite field double by Jim Hickman. And 1-1, and runner in scoring position, still only 1 out, and Don Young up. And here comes a pitch to Young, and in play, 17. That's going to be another single. And go to the fast action cards. A sharp liner drops in front of the left fielder. Runner on second advances 1 base. So that was hit too hard to get Hickman in, but the Cubbies have a little rally going, and Fergie will come to the plate now. And Fergie is a decent hitting pitcher. We'll see if he can help his cause. And here comes a windup from Culver, and that is in play, and Fergie a double. And Culver getting battered around here in the second inning. That's going to be a deep drive off the wall in left field, and all runners advance 2 bases. So coming in to score is Hickman, and going over to third is Young. Fergie is parked at second with an RBI. And after recording Banks on a shallow fly ball to right, Culver has given up 4 straight hits, and the Cubbies lead this 2-1, and still only 1 out. Runners on second, third. Here comes a pitch to Kessinger, top of the order. And that is going to be tough, and Kessinger, a fly ball to center field, and that is not going to be deep enough to get a run in. So holding at third, that was a huge out. So Beckert up now, 2 outs, runners on second, third, and Culver trying to minimize the damage. Here comes a pitch, and that will be Patient, and Beckert draws a base on balls, and the sacks are going to be loaded. And sweet swinging Billy Williams with a chance to blow this one open early. Bases juiced with Cubs. Here comes a pitch from Culver, and 8's going to be Patient. Williams takes a cut, and a harmless ground ball down to third base, and Culver's going to get out of the inning on a 5-3 putout. But the Cubbies score a couple of runs on 4 hits, and we're heading to the top of the third, 2-1 Cubs. So Fergie with the lead now against this powerful Reds lineup facing Darrell Chaney. And 6 will be tough and overmatched. Fergie swinging a missed, strike 3. Chaney back to the dugout. And that brings up his counterpart, George Culver. And Fergie on a roll now. Pitch to Culver in play, and that is going to be a fly ball to shallow right field. Coming in to take care of that is Hickman, 2 down. So Fergie seems to have shaken off the effects of the Tony Perez leadoff homer in the second. And tough, and that's going to be a ground ball down to Kessinger at shortstop. Takes care of Rose, and another 3-up, 3-down inning for Fergie and the Cubs. And we head to the bottom of the third inning. 2-1 Cubbies lead it. And Ron Santo leading off against Culver, and that'll be a patient result, and Santo draws a walk. So Cubbies have their leadoff runner on, and Mr. Cubby Ernie Banks comes up. Culver. 3, that's going to be ballpark, and 35 for the right-hander's wheelhouse. Banks takes a big hack, and that ball is, just off the top of the wall, a double. He missed a home run literally by inches, and all runners are going to advance 2 bases on that. So Santo over to third, Ernie Banks into second with a double. And nobody out. Cubbies, runners at second, third, and again, Randy Hundley up with a chance to widen the lead. Here comes a pitch. And 6, that'll be patient, and 85, going to be well out of range there. That'll be a ground ball down to shortstop. And on that, and 6 on the die, and that is going to get the run home from third, and holding at second will be Banks. So a 6-3 ground out by Hundley drives in a run, and Cubbies lead this 3-1. Runner at second base for Jim Hickman. And there's going to be some action in the Cincinnati bullpen already. And loosening up down there will be Jerry Arrigo. As Hickman steps in, here comes a pitch from Culver. And 4, that'll be in play result. And Hickman, not very good against righties. That's going to be a harmless pop-up to shortstop. So F6, and Culver continues to skirt what could have been big trouble here after the first 2 runners reached in the inning. 9, that's going to be a tough, and Culver comes back hard at Young. Swing and a miss, got him on the high heat. So the first 2 reach base, but then Culver shuts the Cubbies down. They get another run on a hit, lead 1. And we head to the top of the 4th inning. Cubs lead this 3-1. So Bobby Tolan up, and Jenkins likes the lead, but no lead is safe against this powerful Cincinnati lineup, and that is going to be the rare event chart. And again, using my homemade rare event chart. And column 1, bases empty. And 0-2, bat breaks on a bloop single, cork found inside, batter out. So apparently this phenomenon was existing back in 1969. So Tolan, and that is going to go as a 1-3 put out. Tolan caught with the corked bat, and that is also going to get him ejected. So replacement in right field is going to be needed as we go to the bench. And Ted Savage is going to come on. So Savage Savage against right-handers hit .243, and Tolan had hit .291 in 1969, so definitely an offensive drop-off. And defensively, not quite the fielding prowess of Tolan either. So Tolan gets an early shower, and Alex Johnson steps into the box. All arguing is done, and here comes a pitch from Fergie, and tough, and it's going to be a fly out to left field. Williams puts that away, 2 down. So Fergie, just a single hit thus far, and it got well into the left field bleachers. Has settled down since then. That'll be an in-play result, and Tony Perez, fly ball high into shallow left field. Cassinger back, takes that. Another 3-up, 3-down inning for Fergie and the Cubs. Head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Cubs lead this 3-1. And George Culver will face Fergie to lead off the fourth. And 10 will be in play, and Fergie, it's going to be a ground ball down to second base, one down. Back to the top of the order, and Don Kessinger. Kessinger's flown out twice to right field and center field. Here comes a pitch, tough. And Kessinger going to be a fly ball to center field, his third fly out of the day, and two down for Culver and the Reds. And that'll be another in-play result to Beckert, and a harmless fly ball to shallow left field. And coming in to take that is Alex Johnson, and the Cubbies go down in order in the fourth. So we head to the top of the fifth, and Cubs lead this one 3-1. Powerful first baseman Lee May set to lead it off, and tough. And 69, and he's going to squib that off the end of the bat. Fights off a tough slider, and the Reds have their second hit of the day. As May laughing with Banks down at first base over that hit. Looks like a line drive in the box score as Johnny Bench steps in. And Bench patient, and that's going to be a fly out to left field. Williams puts that away. May back to first, one down. Tommy Helms steps in, and tough, and Helms going to ground that one down to second base, and 6. That's within his double play rating and Fergie, so 4-6-3 twin killing. And Fergie out of the inning nicely. The Reds get a hit, but no runs, no errors, and nobody left. And we are heading to the bottom of the fifth inning, still 3-1 Chicago. And Culver probably looking at his last inning here as he's due up second in the sixth, and he has not pitched, not been overly impressive tonight. And sweet swinging Billy Williams, patient, 26, and he's going to bang that into the gap in right field off the wall and going with a stand-up double. So the Cubbies once again are in business early, and that is their fourth double of the afternoon. So Ron Santo is up, and Jerry Arrigo is indicated he is ready in the pen if needed for the Reds. And Wheelhouse and Santo, a big cut, but that's going to be a ground ball down to shortstop, and he just swung over the top of that. He had his pitch and missed it. Holding at second base will be Williams, and that brings up Ernie Banks, one down. And tough, and Ernie overmatched by that fastball in on his hands, and back to the dugout he goes. Chili con queso. 2 down for Randy Hundley. So Culver again looking to escape a big inning, and it's going to be an in-play result. And Hundley fly ball to left field, and coming in a nonchalant basket catch. Alex Johnson has it, and the Cubbies get a hit. But no runs, no errors, and we're heading to the top of the sixth inning, still 3-1. And Darrell Chaney set to lead it off for the Reds, and out on the, or in the on-deck circle, looks like Chico Ruiz is going to pinch hit for Culver. So 9, Fergie is tough, and 41 to Chaney. Chaney blown away again, and he has gone down twice on strikes and not even come close to getting the wood on the ball. Pitcher spot is up, and Culver's afternoon will be complete. And the southpaw Arrigo will come in the next inning. So we will close the books on Culver. He goes 5 innings. He gives up 7 hits, 3 runs. All of them are going to be earned. Walks 2, strikes out 2, does not give up any long balls, but a lot of doubles off the fence. So Chico Ruiz, the pinch hitter. One down. Here comes a pitch from Fergie, and that's going to be in play, and Ruiz is going to be a fly out to right field, 2 away. So Ruiz cannot come through, and back to the top of the order, 2 down, and Charlie Hustle, Pete Rose steps in. Fergie kicks, delivers the pitch to Rose, and that'll be an in-play result, and Pete Rose, a hard line drive single into right field. And Charlie Hustle bluffs going to second, scampers back as Hickman gets it in. Ted Savage in for Bobby Tolan, who was ejected due to using a corked bat. Steps up to the plate, and that's going to be tough. And Fergie, Savage has nothing. Savage for him. Fergie, 3 hard ones by him, and the inning is over. Reds get a hit. No runs, no errors. Leave 1. And we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Cubbies still lead this 3-1. New Reds pitcher, Jerry Arrigo. He was 4-7 with a 4.15 ERA in 1969. And he's going to try and keep it close here, and that'll be tough. And Hickman goes down swinging. I'm sorry, left-hander. He does not go down swinging. Is going to be a ground ball to second base instead, so 4-3 on the putout. And Don Young steps up. Rigo has a sign, kicks, delivers, and patient, 91. That's going to be a ground ball down to shortstop. And Cheney up with that, whips it over to May. 2 quick outs for Arrigo as Fergie steps in to take his hacks. Going to get yet another complete game, and 6 is going to be in play. Fergie's going to ground that to Cheney as well. So 3 up, 3 down for Arrigo, and we head to the 7th inning. Chicago still up on Cincinnati 3-1, and Fergie looking in good shape to get win number 12 on the season. 5 will be patient to Alex Johnson. That's going to be a ground ball down to Kessinger, 1 away. Hard-hitting third baseman Tony Perez, and he launched one out of Wrigley back in the 2nd inning. Here comes a pitch, and tough. Fergie coming at him, and blows Perez away this time. Gives him a bowl of Special K for breakfast. 3 strikes, and he's back to the dugout. Lee May up next, and 4 is going to be ballpark, and that is going to be wheelhouse. And May, a big rip, and that ball is a harmless single. Got all of it, just not in the sweet spot. But May gets his 2nd hit of the afternoon, and the Reds are in business with 2 outs here. Johnny Bench up. And Bench, 1 swing of the bat can change things, and that's going to be in play to Bench. A ground ball down to Santa, whips it over to Banks. And Lee May had a shot to drive one into the stands and get the Reds within 1, but he just didn't get it on the button. So 1 hit, no runs, no errors, and 1 runner left as we head to the bottom of the 7th at the old ball game. And Arrigo set to start his 2nd inning of work. Don Kessinger steps in, and that'll be a fly out to left field, and Kessinger has completed the fly out cycle, flying out to right, center, and left in this game. Glenn Becker steps up. Becker 0 for 2 with a walk, and the pitch from Arrigo will be patient, and that is going to be a single, so he bloops his single into center field. Becker, his 1st hit of the afternoon, and 1st hit Arrigo has given up. And he's throwing everything, the pen, the whole works, and 7 is going to be patient. And sweet swinging Billy Williams, be a fly ball to center field, 2 away. And Ron Santos grounded out twice, walked, and scored a run back in the 3rd inning. Here comes a pitch. And 8 is going to be tough, and Santos swing and a miss. Gets the fastball in on him, and he is done. So the Cubbies get a hit, no runs, no errors, leave 1, and we head to the top of the 8th inning, still 3-1 Cubs. And warming up in the Reds bullpen now as Arrigo has done his job. And Wayne Granger, a workhorse in 1969, appearing in 90 games, going to start loosening up for the Redlegs. And Jenkins to Helms. Here comes a pitch, and 7's going to be in play, and Helms, that's a sharply hit ball into left field, so the Reds have a leadoff single. And pitcher spot is due up third in this inning, so we will definitely have another pinch hitter. And Darrell Cheney up to the plate. Out in the on-deck circle is Jimmy Stewart, set to pitch for Arrigo. And here comes a pitch to Cheney, and that'll be tough, 68. And Cheney, he has had no luck with Jenkins all afternoon. His third strikeout of the day. Slams his helmet down in disgust as he goes back to the dugout. And hitting in the pitcher spot will be Jimmy Stewart. And Stewart, against right-handers in 1969, hit .259. Had 4 home runs and 13 RBIs. So with a runner on first base, he will try and extend the inning. Fergie kicks and delivers, and 7 is going to be in play, and Stewart not going to get it done. A fly out to right field. Hickman comes in, takes care of that. 2 down and back to the top of the order. Charlie Hustle steps in, and Rose today is 1 for 3, 2 ground outs and a single. Here comes a pitch from Fergie, and tough, and Rose. Ground ball down to Kessinger, whips it over to Banks. Nice routine 2-hopper. And the Reds get a leadoff hit, but cannot do anything with it. So we're heading to the bottom of the 8th, still 3-1 Cubs. And Ernie Banks leading it off against the new pitcher. And Wayne Granger on the mound. So Arrigo had a good couple of innings of work. Pitch 2, gave up 1 hit, no runs, and no walks, struck out 1. So Granger going to take over and close it out now for the Reds. Mr. Cubby Ernie Banks is in the box. Here comes a pitch, and our first defensive check of the game. And that's going to be an error check on shortstop, and Cheney is a 1. And Cheney, not a very good defense. Tough day at the plate and almost a tough day in the field. 87, just going to get that. Bobbles it, but whips it over to first base. 6-3 on the putout. Randy Hundley steps up. Hundley, he is 1 for 3 on the day. He has a run scored and an RBI. And 5 in play result, and that'll be a ground ball down to short. Cheney handles this one smoothly, whips it over to May, 2 down. Jim Hickman up for the Cubbies. Granger fires away, and 5, that'll be in play, and a fly ball to left field. Wandering over to his right out there is Alex Johnson, taps the glove and puts it away. 3 up, 3 down for the Cubbies in the 8th. So Granger does his job. Now it is up to his teammates to get something done as we head to the 9th inning. Cubbies leading this 3-1. And Phil Regan has begun to loosen up in the bullpen if needed. And again, Fergie must face 2 batters here. 7 will be in play. And that's going to be a fly ball to center field, 1 away. Savage again in for the ejected Bobby Tolan, who had a cork bat. Alex Johnson, the batter, and 9. That's a tough result. 25, swing and a miss. Fergie still throwing the heat in the late innings, and 2 down, and it's down to Tony Perez, who's accounted for the only Reds run of the game. And 9, that'll be tough. 25, and Fergie comes at Tony, blows him away. Swing and a miss, strike 3. It is over. 3 up, 3 down in the 9th, and Fergie, a complete game victory, and he cruises to his 12th win of the year, reversing real-life results, 3-1. And Culver will get the loss for the Reds, so Fergie, he goes 9 innings, scatters 5 hits, gives up 1 run, and that coming all on a single shot by Tony Perez back in the 2nd. He does not strike anyone out, and he strikes out 3, 4, 5, 6. Strikes out 9. So Fergie was his usual dominating self. Kind of throwback to that stretch he had early in this replay where he was almost unhittable for a 4-game stretch. So a comfortable win, and our final line score for the Reds. They get 1 run on 5 hits, no errors. The Cubbies, they get 3 runs on 8 hits, no errors. So not a badly pitched game on either side. Culver had some rough moments in the second, third inning for the Reds, and that was the difference. As in the second and third, he gave up all 3 runs and 5 of the 8 hits that the Cubs came up with on the day. So that'll do it from Wrigley Field. And player of the game. So player of the game in this one, it's going to come down to Fergie with another outstanding -1 fastball. He left a little bit too far over the plate to Perez. But apart from that, he was stellar. Offensively for the Cubs, really the only one who warrants mention in that same sentence would maybe be Randy Hundley, who had a 1-for-4 effort, a run and an RBI. So I think pretty decisively Fergie gets player of the game in this one, and I think that's the 3rd or 4th POG he has gotten. So that wraps it up from the friendly confines of Wrigley Field. This is Anthony with BBSN, and thank you again for watching. And we'll be back next. Next up, I'm real excited. The channel will be kicking off the 2017-2018 Tottenham Hotspur replay using Soccer Blast from Play Games, and that's at PLAAY.com. Keith Avalone, a great purveyor of tabletop sports games, has wrestling, football, baseball, lacrosse, hockey, soccer, you name it, golf. You can find it there. A great site and a great company, so give that a look. And also remember to support our friends of the channel, and they are over in the left side of the channel page. A lot of great sports gaming content, some role-playing content, and wargaming content as well. What's Blazing in Sports does a lot of good boxing talk on there, so please check out all the friends of the channel. And as always, thank you for watching. Until next time, keep rolling for the fences. We'll see you. Have a good night, all.